So the big man himself is out there doing big man things. Donald Trump is repeating a line which he also used in 2015 and 2016. This is in The Hill. Trump won't commit to endorsing eventual 2024 GOP nominee. Former President Trump on Thursday would not commit to endorsing the eventual Republican nominee for president in 2024 if it's not him. Quote, "It would depend. I would give you the same answer I gave in 2016 during the debates," Trump told conservative radio host Hugh Hewitt. "It would have to depend on who the nominee was," he added. Trump's comments came shortly after former Maryland Governor Larry Hogan, a Trump critic who said he is weighing a 2024 bid of his own, told Hewitt he does not believe Trump will be the GOP nominee, but that he would support whoever the nominee is. During the first GOP primary debate in the 2016 cycle, Trump also declined to affirm he would back the eventual nominee, drawing criticism from his rivals. Trump's refusal to say he would support the party's nominee in 2024 underscores concerns among some Republicans that the former president would run as a third-party candidate if he does not win the nomination, siphoning off a large number of GOP primary voters who are loyal to Trump. Trump is so far the only declared candidate in the GOP field, although Nikki Haley, former South Carolina governor and ambassador to the United Nations under Trump, is expected to announce her candidacy on February 15th. And then they float here. Of course, DeSantis is considering a run. Tim Scott, Mike Pompeo, Mike Pence. John Bolton they left out of here, but he's considering a run. So here he is, man. Trump doing Trump things. Trump doing Trump things, saying Trump things. Look, here's my selfish little rant on this. I love this. I love it. Because, look, he is the favorite, right? He is the favorite, especially because DeSantis is his biggest challenger, but now you got like 8 other idiots who want to run, and they're all going to split the non-Trump vote, and Trump's going to solidify about 30%, which is the Trump block. So he could win with just that 30%. So he is the favorite. But look, if he loses, there's almost no doubt in my mind he's gonna take the whole ship down with him. He said, if I go down, you all go down. Every one of you. The entire Republican establishment. And even if Ron DeSantis, let's say, wins straight up, like there's no establishment trickery, there's no putting their thumb on the scale behind the scenes in favor of DeSantis over Trump, even if it's just straight up he wins, Trump would still melt down, take it way too personally. His ego would be bruised. He would claim it was rigged over and over. He would claim it over and over and over. And then he'd say, I'm going to take my message directly to the people. I'm going to run as an independent in the 2024 election. And then as long as he can get on some ballots, it's guaranteed to take the election away from the Republicans and give it to the Democrat. There's no, mathematically speaking, there's absolutely no way Trump can run as an independent or a third-party candidate and then he wins or the establishment Republican wins. It wouldn't happen. It wouldn't happen. The pool of voters is too small. And even if you say Trump only gets 5% of the vote, or, you know, the establishment Republican only gets 5% and Trump gets the majority, even in a scenario like that, they're going to siphon off at least 5%, and then the Republican can't win. The right-wing candidate, whether it's the independent or the Republican, can't win. They just can't win. So Democrats secretly are cheering for this scenario behind the scenes, man. Absolutely. They want Trump to run. Now, by the way, if Trump wins the primary, right, they're also in a terrible spot because Trump has been a terrible general election candidate for 3 election cycles straight now. The Trumpy candidates lost in 2018 in the midterms. They lost in 2020. He lost in 2020. And then in the midterms, they lost in 2022. The most Trumpy candidates lost. And so Democrats know this guy's a very, very weak general election candidate because he's too extreme. He's been siphoned off on Truth Social. He's gone all in on the QAnon stuff. He says stuff like terminate the Constitution. He's too wacky. He doesn't have that normie touch anymore. It's incredibly difficult to become president. It's a real balancing act. And he did it well in 2016, but since then he doesn't have the political acumen or the talent or the ability to message and come across as strike the right tone to get the right number of people to get elected. So Democrats running against him, they'd be happier because they feel like we have a much higher percentage chance of winning. And this time they'd be right, unlike in 2016. And if it's not him, then they know he's going to probably run as an independent or third-party candidate and take at least 5%, probably more, from the Republican, and then they win it that way too. So it's a really interesting spot to be in. But the other point to make here is there's almost no, and this is why Democrats have like permission to suck as much as humanly possible too, though. Because they know, look at their competition. Look at how much they're in disarray. Look at the GOP infighting that's already happening and the stuff that's going to happen in the near future. So Democrats look at this and they're like, shit, yeah, run zombie Joe Biden. We don't care. He'll be able to win. We don't care if he loses the ability to talk going into the 2024 election. Good enough. He'll still win. And so in a sense, it lowers the bar even more for Democrats because look who their opponents are. And so now Trump's coming out and saying it. He's already saying it. We'll see what happens. He said it depends on who the candidate is. It doesn't depend on who the candidate is. If he loses, he will not support the candidate who beat him. No way. No way at all. And then you're talking about the destruction of the Republican Party as we know it. And they go into the wilderness for a very, very long time. Now, there's been a lot of talk of the destruction of the Republican Party for a long time because of demographic changes and things of that nature. I never made those arguments because I never bought those arguments. And I was right not to buy those arguments. I do buy the argument that Trump loses the primary and he runs as an independent or runs as a third-party candidate. That is the destruction of the modern-day Republican Party. Because even if Trump only takes 5%, it's a wrap for them. Democrats win in perpetuity until the Republicans go into the wilderness for a while, regroup, get their act together and come out as a new party. But wow, what a scenario. The big guy is, he ain't messing around. You love to see it. If you want to see me and Crystal Ball interview legends like Noam Chomsky, Cornel West, and more, subscribe to Crystal Kyle and Friends on Substack. $5 a month gets you the video version a day early. Remember, we take 0 ad dollars for this podcast. Or you can sign up on Substack for free and get the audio version a day later. Link in the video description box below.